Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's Friday. We're going to do a fun fold. This is a card design that we're going to make. We're going to use different product, but this is a double diamond fun fold card. And it has like these double diamonds, right? And then it opens up this way so you can have your inside. But it really stands so nicely. So if you were looking at it dead on, it would look this way. But it really just stands up. You can put it on a shelf, at a hospital windowsill. So it's really a fun card. So I got this design from Patty Bennett. She's my upline. And I'm not sure if she's the originator, but she recently made some of these cards. And I was like, oh, I've got to try that. So there's two circles with designer series paper. There's two diamonds, and there's lots of pattern paper in this, and it's nice to have a pack of paper that gives you different options like this, and then this, and this, and then these I embossed. So let me show you the products I used. So I used this Toadstool Garden Designer Series paper, and this is a free Celebration product. Celebration's going to end the end of February, so if you're interested in any of them, you get this for free when you spend $60, and it really has some just bright and fun patterns. And we do have a Toadstool stamp set and punch. Do I have that? I don't have that with me because I didn't use it for this card, but let me get it. I can show you the stamp set. There is a punch that punches out some of these images. I don't know where I have it. Oh, I have it right here. I didn't put it away with my punches. So you can punch this, and then this one, and this. So it's a great paper to get if you have this. And again, it's for free during Celebration. Once Celebration's over, it might go on the last chance list, or you won't be able to get it. So anyway, this is a great paper, and let's move on. I did some embossing using the Starstruck embossing folder. This is also a free item during Celebration. So I did this Melon Mambo. I thought it matched nicely, and we're going to use this on the next card as well. I used the Stylish Shapes dies. I used the largest one to do my diamonds, and you can just cut your diamond, and that's what I'll do on the next card. But I wanted the pattern to go this way, and if I cut it, I would have had a hard time. You can do it, but because you're cutting it kind of this way, and I wanted my pattern to go up and down. So I measured this. It was the perfect size. On the next one, again, we're going to just cut it. If you have your Stylish Shapes, you can use that. Otherwise, you can just cut your diamonds. And then I just used the thanks so much from the Ocean Friends stamp set. So I thought that was cute. So these are the products that I used for this card. And we are going to make the same design, but we're going to use this pretty bee paper. Now this this is called the Cute as a Bee. We had this in different colors. I don't know if it was last year or what, but pretty much the same patterns, but with different colors. And I just thought it was so fun. It was a great paper for Valentine's Day, but I think some of these, I'm going to make a birthday card. I mean, you could just make a love card, Valentine's Day card. It doesn't have to be Valentine's, so, but there are a lot of heart patterns. There's the hive, the flowers, some stripes, and then all these bees with the hearts, and then the buzzing by. You've got some honey jars, and then this pattern. So let's get our pieces going. These are the sheets that I'm going to use. I can't talk. So we're going to punch one of these and use the background. We're going to punch one of this area and use the background. Is that the same background? No. I'm going to use this background, and then we are also maybe going to use this. I don't want it to be too busy, so I may use the same backgrounds for a couple of areas. We'll see how that goes. But I have some of my pieces cut. This is thick basic white cardstock, and it's a half a sheet of 8.5 by 11. So I did 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, and we're going to get our trimmer out, and we're going to score this in 3 places. Okay, so we're going to score it on the 11 side at 2 1/4. So 2 1/4, and we're going to make sure we're not using the cutting blade but the scoring blade. And then 4 1/2, 4 1/2. And then the next one is 7 3/4. So we have to open up our arm and go to 7 3/4. Okay, and I like to burnish it back and forth a couple of times, unless it's the pattern paper, then it's a little bit thinner. So we'll use our bone folder, and I like to fold in and then in again. And I am going to fold them back and forth because I want them to really sit nicely when the card is sitting up. So we're going to flip it over and do the other way. So burnish it the other side on all 3 of the score lines, just to get a nice sharp crease. Okay, and now this is going to sit like this. Okay, I don't know if it's an M, a funny M, or a funny W, or a VV, I don't know. It's we usually call it WV kind of folds, but it's a little bit different. So here we go. This is how it's going to sit. So the next thing we want to do is get this is our inside piece. We're going to cut 2 white squares, 3 by 3 each one, and they are going to become the diamonds that we have as the background. And then we want to cut our designer series paper. This piece 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's where I think on this pattern will be okay. But like if you were going to do a pattern like this, if you cut it as a square and then turned it, it would be funny, and that's why I use the dies. But for this, this is going to be a different piece. I have in my mind what I want to do, and we're going to see how it works out. So these I think will be okay. So let's cut this one first, and I may use this twice. I'm trying to decide, you know, how busy it's going to look, because there's a lot of busyness going on. So we're going to cut this at 2 3/4. And then 2 3/4. Okay, and that is one of our square, or one of our diamonds. See, so the diamond is okay because it's not really positional. So this one is going to be this way, and I think it will be okay. So 2 3/4, and again, if it's too busy, I may not stay with it. And then 2 3/4. And before I glue anything down, I'm gonna like lay it all out to make sure I like how it looks. So these pieces will come like this. So you see how it's going to come together. This is our inside piece. And then we need these pieces. And Patty used 2 different patterns. I'm going to keep it the same pattern, and I am going to use this paper. So one of the pieces is going to be, and don't worry about writing all of this down. I have a project sheet that you can, you know, there's a link below on a project sheet, and you can just print it out or just look at it online and follow along that way. So this we're going to cut 3 by 4 and then 2 by 4. So let's do 4, and I like to cut it in 4 because that's what you would use for a layer usually if you were cutting a layer for a card front. So 4 is a good size to cut down. And then we're going to go 3. So we need 1 piece at 3 by 4 and 1 piece at 2 by 4. I'm just checking my little cheat sheet over there. I have little notes next to me. There's a lot of pieces here. Okay, so these pieces, and we'll put it all together once we kind of look at it and see how it looks. So these pieces will come here and here. And again, if you wanted to have 2 different looks, you can have a different piece here and a different piece here. But let's keep that for now, and we're going to look at it before we stick. So I am going to punch with my punch. This is a 2 3/8. If you don't have your punch, you can use dies if you have circle dies. This is 2 3/8 of an inch. And I want to try to get either a bee going this way or this bee. I kind of like this bee, but let's see. Do I want 2 bees? To be or not to be? That might be cute. Okay, so we're going to just punch this. And then we're going to use, we could use this, but again, I didn't really want to have the hearts. So let's use this. And I kind of want this bee. See, I kind of want him in the center, and I think it's too narrow, so I am going to try it on one of these. Let's see. And I might have to cut it a little bit. Hate to cut it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it again. I'm just looking at all of those bees. Well, that might work. I feel like it needs to go up a little bit. I'm just going to cut this a little bit on the bottom. Just a little bit. Now, you don't have to be that particular if you don't want to be. I probably cut it too much. Watch that. Yeah, probably a little bit too much, but I'm going to go with it. Okay, so we have our bees cut. So this is where I want to see if it's too busy. We have, this is going to be like this, or like this, and like this. This has these flowers. I feel like this is too white. I'm gonna go like this. So then we would put these down, and then this down, and this is gonna come up like that. I think that's good. What do you think? And then this, I know I'm just holding it in place, will come like that. All right, let's go with it. Let's try it and see how it looks. So I'm just going to use my Seal Plus. You can use whatever you like. Do I need more? I think I'm getting to the end. If it ever gets stuck, just roll it with your finger. And then you want to center this, top, bottom, left, right, so it looks straight and even. And then we're going to put this piece here. So this is our beehive. Isn't this cute though? I think it's just such fun, cute paper. I love the flowers. And those bees are just happy, happy little bees. Okay. And then we're going to put this down, the circles we're going to put down with dimensional. So let's put the squares down, or the diamonds down first. And this is very strong adhesive, so you really don't need a lot. And this reminds me of when I was younger, Flower Power. That's what I think of when I look at this. You remember that? We had the stickers, the big flower stickers. Flower Power. All right. And this. It is a little busy, but I think it breaks it up nicely. So I was doing this here and this here. And let's get some dimensionals, because we want these to stand up a little bit off the, and you want them to be sitting upright on the circle. So let's just put some of these down. We'll put them on both of them here. 4 should do it. Okay, and we'll take the backs off. I have this Band-Aid on. It's kind of interfering with what I'm doing here. But you don't want to see my ugly cut there. I cut myself yesterday. So we want to make sure they're upright. Kind of center it. So it's just sitting up off the diamond a little bit. Let's do this hand. All right. See how easy it is once you have all the dimensionals, or the dimensions, or dimensionals. And Patty was nice enough to put them on her blog. She's really great. I'm looking forward, in March, we're going to On Stage, so I'll get to see her. I've met her a few times. She's a big wig if you don't know her. I think we'll put this one up here. I kind of like this one right up front with the flowers. So when you put these down, you want to only put your adhesive below this. So you don't want to go above like this area. And I am going to use liquid glue on this. So let's just make sure I have it right. So we're going to go down here. We don't want to go above across here. Okay. Oh, before we do that, let's see if we want to put an embossed layer. I do have 2 pieces that I cut of, this is the Petunia Pop. And I thought we would emboss this. So let's do that first. Let's put this aside. And let me get my machine out. So the embossing folder we're going to use, again, it's a free with, I think it's a $60 order. It's one of the celebration items. And this is a regular embossing folder. It's not a 3D, and it bends. That's kind of how you know the difference. The other ones will say 3D, but this is soft and it bends. So let's take, when you're using that, and this shows you if you're using for cutting, and then embossing folder, and then 3D. So if you're using a 3D, let me get it. If it's a 3D embossing folder, you're going to use a number 1, which is the base, and a number 4. Okay? But if you're using a regular embossing folder, you're going to use a number 1 and 2 3s. You're going to get rid of this 2 plate. You don't need it that thick. So we're going to put our 1, our 3, which is really getting beat up, and then our embossing folder. And I did put both pieces in at once when I did it on the other card. And I just lined it up with the line down here and tried to make sure it was straight, and then pressed it down. You could do them one at a time if you don't feel comfortable with that. And let me get my top plate. Okay, and then I like to feed it in with the top plate hanging over a little bit so that it's not such a big bulk going through in the beginning. and you just run it through. Okay, put that on the side, move this away. And then I always love when you open it up how pretty it is. So cute. And I think this is good with the flowers and everything with that. So let's put this down with, I'm going to put some glue on the back. I like to use glue, liquid glue with an embossed layer because I feel like it gets in all the nooks and crannies there. And we're just going to put this down like this. And let's see. So this is going to come like this. All right, it's getting there. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And I think this one I put a little bit higher. It's a bigger background layer, so we'll just put it up a little bit higher. And let's see how this is going to look. This is going to sit right up here. Okay, we're good. So we're going to put this down with with glue, and we're going to go to the bottom of this on the back. So you might want to just, you know, go across below where the point is. And then we're going to attach this so the point sits right at the top of where the fold is. You want to make sure there's no glue up here. Okay, I feel like I'm going to just put a little dot here. I don't think I got all the way to that corner. Cute. I'm thinking my granddaughter would absolutely love this. So same thing, we're going to put it on the bottom here, not on the top. So we're going to go a line just below where the point is, and then come down. We're going to line this point up to the fold and this point up to the fold. Make sure there's no glue sticking on top. So here we have it. So this is what it's going to look like standing up. And I'm going to put a happy birthday on it. So this stamp set is, it's kind of, I was going to put just love, just, you know, ink up love over here, but I really want to make it as a birthday card. So I just want to show you this. I'm going to put this right on there to keep it down for a minute. These are the stamps. It also works with our punch. This is the bee builder punch that came with the last bee set. And then this is a great set of dies. I mean, look at these honeycombs. And then you can punch the bees. And then this says, it's hard to see it, but I had to look online. It says our hive. So you can cut out the word our and hive, and then you can do a background to it so it's matted. And then there's the flowers. I think it's really a cute set. But I wanted to make a birthday card, and I looked in my stamp sets for a happy birthday that's not too big, because I want it to just fit like this. Thanks so much. And by the way, this die is also from the Stylish Shapes. That's what I cut the squares with, and then I use this die here. This is a great set to have as well. One of my go-tos. So I decided I would use Simply Said. It has happy birthday, birthday wishes, and we're going to do the birthday wishes. And I have a piece cut. This is 1 1/4 by 2. So what I did was I kind of measured the stamp to see what size it was and cut my cardstock to be a little bit bigger. So I think this would be good. I'm going to use Poppy Parade. That's not Poppy Parade. Petunia Pop. I knew Pop was in there somewhere. the names, sometimes the names get me. And we're just going to stamp that right here, kind of center it as best we can. Birthday wishes. And I want to put this on, it's going to sit partly on this and partly over here. Now this is popped up with a dimensional, so I want over here to have a dimensional, but this lie flat. So when you have that kind of a setup, let me find my dimensionals. Oh dear. Well, I'll open a new one. I don't know where I put them. I put everything back and I don't know where I put it. All right, so with this, we're going to put a dimensional here. And I'm going to put one here as well so that it sits. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of glue up here. I could probably put a dimensional here as well. Let me do that just to give it some stability. And then I'll put just a little bit. Let me make sure this isn't showing below. It's kind of low, but that's okay. A little bit of glue here. And then we'll take off the backings. And then this part will sit up and the other part will just stick right to that. So cute. I love it. And then I was thinking I would put some of these in color, what are they, iridescent or shimmer gems. They're in the in colors, and Petunia Pop is an in color. So we can just put one right on here like I did. If you want to put more on, you can, but I think that's sufficient. So thanks so much, and birthday wishes. And they both just sit really nicely. Oh, let's do the inside. Oh, we got to do the inside. I have this inside piece sitting here. So what I did here was I just put a piece of the designer series paper that I used out here. On this one, I think I'm going to put a happy birthday. Let's celebrate. I think we'll do that, and I don't even have it mounted. So let me get a clear block. And with thin ones like this, you don't want it to be crooked. I like to just turn it over, lay it on a line, and then put my block on it like that. And let's get our Petunia Pop. And you can use, you know, for this, you could use the green as Old Olive. You can use, I think it's Pretty in Pink. So pick whatever color's in the paper, and the paper tells you the colors. Let's celebrate. And we can put a little piece of paper down there if we wanted to. Let's put this little pretty flowers on. So remember that strip I cut off before? There we go, voila. So this is 4, and this must be, it's a half. I think that's a good size for a small inside layer. So that worked out. And let's just put some of this on it. Let's celebrate. Okay, and then we can put this on the inside, and then we're done. I got ahead of myself before. I'll just lay this right in here, center it top to bottom, left to right, and we have it all done. Let me just close this up before we have an accident. Something fallen in it. So aren't they cute? I love them. I just really love this idea. Thank you to Patty Bennett. So where are we on our calendar? I had that out underneath things. So we're almost at the end of February. So this is my inspiration calendar that you can get if you subscribe to my email list, and there's a link below to do that. And I always do a video on Fridays, usually a technique or a fun fold card. I do a color combo on Thursday. You can find that on my blog. I do Wednesday and Saturday sketches. You can find that on my blog. And then the rest of the month is just ideas for you to, you know, maybe tidy up or try something different, copy a card from catalog, whatever. Make your birthday cards, just reminders. So we did the double diamond fold card today, the 21st. The 28th, we're making a Z fold card. There's a million Z fold cards out there, so I'll try to make it a little interesting, a little bit more than a basic one, but we'll see. I have to come up with it. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget, celebration's over February 28th, so if you wanted any products, and then just a plug, if you wanted to join Stampin' Up! And get the great deal that's going on now, $125 plus. There's two options. So for $99, you get $125 in product, whatever you want. You get it all from the clearance rack if you wanted to. Then on top of that, there's a stamp set and 2 sets of Stampin' Write markers of two different color families. Or if you don't want the stamp set and the 2 sets of markers, this is a mouthful, you can get $30 more in free product. So that would be 125 plus 30, so 155 for $99. Whew. If you have any questions on that, give me send me an email, and we can set up a time to talk, and I can just help you go through it. It doesn't mean you have to make videos. It doesn't mean you have to hold classes. You just can enjoy the discount, or you could make it a business like I did. So let me know if you have any questions on that. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.